To start this video, we would like to explain to you how we mine our clay from MycoAD products. For our products, it is critical that we use the best selection of clay. This process is integral to our mission of offering you the best products available for mycotoxin binding. The process starts with core drilling of a specific deposit. We will drill on 50-foot centers, selecting cores from the ground. With those cores, we will do specific tests to make sure it is consistent with previous clays that we have mined for MycoAD products. The tests we do are things such as HPLC, which will be the first indicator as to whether or not the clay has mycotoxin binding characteristics. We also do cation exchange capacity, which measures the ionic content of the clays. We also measure calcium magnesium levels, and we do XRD, which is X-ray diffraction, in order to measure the exact mineral content of the clays. From that information, we identify the deposits, and we will mine the deposits according to our control programs using GPS techniques to identify these specific deposit layers and to accurately mine that layer of deposit that contains the clay that is best suited for MycoAD products. Next in the video, we will be headed to the mine itself. Here we are at the mine. As clay is removed from the mine, it is temporarily stored here before being sent to the storage depots at the facility. This is the clay that is used for MycoAD products. Here you will see the mine itself. You'll notice that it is deep and well below the surface. You'll remember that we mentioned that core samples are gathered for the purpose of exploring for specific clays. That truck is used for obtaining those samples. Next, I will show you the panoramic view of the mine before going into the mine. Here we are at the bottom and inside of the mine. Notice that the clay up there is a brown color. That clay is used for oil and paper. As you mentioned, no two clays are alike, and tests have shown that that clay does not offer acceptable mycotoxin binding characteristics. This clay in front of me has more of a gray color. This is the clay that is used for the MycoAD products. You'll notice a slight browning around the outside, but you'll notice on the inside it's gray. This machine is the X-ray diffraction machine. It allows us to see unique characteristics in each clay. As we stated before, no two clays are alike, and it is imperative that we use the highest quality of clay for our MycoAD products. By using this machine, we are able to see if a clay's structure offers mycotoxin binding characteristics. From the mine, the clay is brought to these storage depots. There are 7 depots here. Each depot contains a different clay. This is the depot that houses the clay for MycoAD products. This depot is one of the largest at this facility because of the quantity that is used. Clay is brought from the mine to the depots on a regular basis. All the clay will be used in the depot before new clay is brought from the mine. You'll notice as I get closer that the clay is the same gray color that I showed you at the mine. From the storage depot, the product is brought to a dryer for processing. After the product goes through the dryer, a sample is brought here to measure moisture content. Range for MycoAD is between 8 and 12%, with gold being 10%. You'll see here that the machine is simply called Moisture Balance. In this area of the laboratory is where we measure particle size. What we will do is measure out 10 grams of product. The product will then be put into one of these sieves, which is used for a sieve analysis test. Each sieve is a different size. You'll notice here that we have a 450 mesh screen, 325 mesh screen, and a 200 mesh screen. The 325 mesh screen is used for MycoAD, and the 200 mesh screen is used for MycoAD AZ. In this trial, we'll be using the 200 mesh screen for MycoAD AZ. Next, we will place the product into the sieve for the test. The sieve will be placed in the Micron powder machine for analysis. The machine is set to run for 60 seconds. After the 60 seconds, we'll measure the residual product, which will allow us to determine what percentage of the product is of ideal particle size. After 60 seconds have passed, the sieve mesh screen will be removed from the Micron powder machine. We will use a small brush along the backside to brush off any product that went through the sieve but may still be on the screen. The product will then be weighed again. You will see that out of the 10 grams of product, only 0.68 grams remain, meaning that 93.2% of the product went through the sieve. You'll notice that the sample was taken from a small bag. Each one of these bags represents an individual pallet of product. You'll see there are 18 bags here, representing a full container load. Each bag is then placed into a larger bag, which is then stored for 2 years, the life of the product. Here we are at the robotics system. This is the robotics system used for the handling and bagging of MycoAD AZ. By using the robotics system, we were able to minimize the handling that could create an error. This system performs multiple tasks on the same line. It starts by taking a bag from a designated stack and placing it on the nozzle to be filled. It takes approximately 8 to 10 seconds to fill each bag. While the bag is being filled, the robot is performing the task of placing a filled bag on the pallet. After the bag has been placed, the robot returns to repair to perform the process of placing the bag on the nozzle. You'll notice a mechanism slid down by the bag. That mechanism is sealing the bag. Once the bag is sealed, it is dropped onto a conveyor line. The conveyor will run the bag to the left to be flattened and weighed, and then run to the right for the bag to be picked up and placed on the pallet. Here we are in one of our product warehouses. Something that helps us track the quality is the way we use our labels. You'll notice that the last 3 numbers on each label is different. This allows us to track and reference each order on an individual basis. Finally, in order to ensure our products maintain the highest quality, we routinely prepare and send samples to independent laboratories. The samples are prepared here at the shipping department. Samples are sent to laboratories that measure for in vitro efficacy against multiple mycotoxins, as well as laboratories that measure the lead and dioxin content in the clay. From all of us at Special Nutrients, I would like to thank you for your time.